Okay, I've got a notification on my screen that we are now streaming, so we'll make a start. Okay, thank you everyone for joining. This is a meeting of the Licensing Act 2003 Subcommittee. Just before we do get into the main business of today, I will just check if anyone has any apologies for absence. It looks like we're all present, but just for the sake of completeness, it looks like we're all here. Thank you very much. Do we have any declaration of interest? Yep, Councillor Moore.
Yes, I'm the ward councillor for a number of properties opposite that location, and I have been lobbied.
Okay, any other declarations of interest? No, okay, thank you very much for that. Thirdly, moving on to the minutes of the last meeting of the Licensing Act 2003 Subcommittee, which was held on the 27th of July. Are we happy that that is a true record of events as they took place? I believe I was the only councillor who was actually present at that meeting, so I vote in favour. Okay, any against or any abstentions? Thank you very much. Okay, so we'll say that we're happy with those minutes. Okay, and then with that out of the way, we are now moving on to the main business, which is to consider an objection given by Environmental Health under Section 104 of the Licensing Act 2003 in respect to a temporary event notice requested for the Players Lounge Unit 5 Radway Billericay for licensable activities to take place between beyond their regular hours of 1 AM to 3 AM. Okay, so just some preliminaries to get out of the way. I think it would be good for us just to introduce ourselves, members, and any key council officers, just so everyone is clear who's involved here. So I'll start off. I'm Councillor Kevin Wingfield, member for Langdon Park. I'm serving as the Vice Chairman of the Licensing Committee and chairing this particular meeting. I don't know who would like to go next. Councillor Moore.
Yeah, I'm Councillor Richard Moore. I'm Bursted Ward Councillor.
Thank you.
I'm Sarah Wakely. I'm the one making a representation on behalf of Environmental Health Services.
Thank you.
I'm Roy Robertson, Licensing Officer for Basildon Council.
Thank you.
I'm Alison Lambert. I'm Independent Counsel instructed by Basildon Borough Council to be the legal advisor to this subcommittee meeting.
Excellent, thank you. Councillor Morris.
I'm Don Morris, Councillor for Wickford Castleton.
Thank you.
Thank you. Emma Perry, Senior Governance Officer.
Everyone who's on my screen has spoken so far, so if there's anyone out there who hasn't already introduced themselves, okay, that's hopefully everyone knows who everyone is now. So, first of all,
Chair, the party. Sorry, Chair. The parties to introduce themselves. The applicants, sorry, haven't introduced themselves.
Okay, so if the applicant would like to speak.
My name is Alex Sinovka. I'm the license holder for premises, current DVS.
Thank you very much.
And I'm Vicky Warnock-Sinovka, the events manager.
Excellent, thank you. Okay, so we've got, is that everyone introduced? We all know each other. We can move on. Okay, fantastic. So just to point out that hopefully everyone has received the procedure and guidance for this meeting. Would have all received an agenda and all of the related materials. Just to point out for those who are speaking, members, myself, Councillor Morris and Councillor Moore will have already received obviously the information attached with obviously the application and the objection. So we'll be asking each party to kind of state their case. But yes, just bear in mind that we have already had sight of the information behind that. Okay, so we will move straight on to the environmental health representative, who will be making their opening statement regarding their objection to this temporary event notice.
Yeah, hello there. Hopefully you have seen my representation, which shows the complaints that we've received, along with a plan showing the locations of the complaints. We are objecting to the premises license, or the temporary event notice. Ever since Players Lounge have applied for temporary event notices, which extends upon their normal hours of 1 AM, we have had an increase in noise complaints. The history of complaints shows 2 events that have been applied since 2020. There was actually 3 events, sorry, but one of them was withdrawn by the applicant. 2 of the events, one was granted until 4 AM and one was granted until 2 AM. And we received 4 complaints for both of those extensions relating to loud music. It is clear that any temporary event notice beyond their normal hours of 1 AM has led to an increase in complaints. And that is why we are objecting to this temporary event notice.
Okay, thank you very much. Does that conclude your statement for the time being?
Yes, it does. Yeah,
Okay.
I think it's clear in the representation. Yeah. It goes into more detail about why we are objecting for, the licensing objective under the Prevention of Public Nuisance.
Yeah, absolutely. That's fine. Okay, then if we can move on to the applicant or licensee, if they would like to make their statements.
Yeah. So we are in agreement with the pattern that's arisen from this. We don't feel it's anything to do with the time of the extension. We feel it's more to do with the equipment that was used for both of those events. So the reason that we applied for 10s during those 2 events is because they were bigger events, and for which we bought in extra sound equipment for it. So we've been able to pinpoint the problem down to that. We know that when we use our in-house equipment, A, is perfectly adequate for what we want to use it for, and B, that we're aware of, we've received no noise complaints for that. So we're proposing from now on, and including this Saturday, is that it's our in-house equipment that's only ever used, which eradicates the noise travelling further than Players Lounge, further than the venue. I'm not sure we've had any complaints about the egress of any event. I've not heard of anything that's come through, so I can't see that being a problem with a 2 AM or 3 AM application, as I believe it's just the noise.
If I can add from the technical perspective, the equipment which we are allowed to, we've used during those events, it was more, we have to admit, was more designed to be outdoor. And therefore we've stopped this from happening categorically. It's not happening anymore, and it's not going to happen. The issue was mainly created by large size subwoofers, which we have discussed with the employed by us sound engineer, which highlighted the problem, and we're not going to use it anymore. We currently purchasing the brand new sound system to make sure we are all okay, and we're not making more trouble. So this way.
Okay, so that concludes your statement. Okay, or we can now sort of move on to any questions from members, or indeed amongst yourselves relating to the objections. So first of all, do we have any questions for the environmental health representative from members? No questions. Any questions for the licensee? No?
Yes, I have a question.
Yes, Councillor Morris.
Sorry. Are you,
Go ahead.
Okay. Yes, on this brand new system, what's the output of the system compared with the output of the previous system that that was too loud?
We'll be happy to send the specification. The loudness wasn't an issue. It's the size of the subwoofers and computer generated bass, which are very low frequencies. As you can notice, those events, the problems during events only happen when it was house music, DJ music, which is created on a computers, and therefore it's got lower sounds than normal drum kit, for example. If we will have, like we have no Oasis event, there was no complaints because we've used natural equipment, and still we kept the same volume under the limit. Now, by excluding the large size subwoofers, we will reduce the, I would say, power of the bass, which traveled through the building a lot. So far, I understand that the problem was with actually this low sounds and the vibration of the cladding of the building, which we've tested on existing equipment, and it's not happening again. Then that's why we think this is the solution, and that was confirmed by the audio engineer.
Okay. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
And I do apologise, Councillor Moore. I said your name was Councillor Morris, so just
that's why
that's
why I was confused.
Okay. Any other questions for the licensee? No. Okay. Excellent. So all that remains at this stage is if the environmental health representative would like to make any closing statements, they can do so.
All I would just say is I'll just again say that there has been an increase in complaints. Do we really believe that 3 AM is a reasonable time to finish at that time of night? It's all right, it's in an industrial area, but there are residential premises nearby. And that's it. I just think, you know, we've got to be very careful. This has got to be dealt with proactively, not reactively. If it happens again, if we let this happen, this temporary event notice go ahead and then we get more complaints, I feel then that we may have let the residents down.
Okay, thank you very much. And from the licensee, any further statements?
Oh, that's us. Sorry.
That's you.
I've completely forgotten what I was going to say. It was really valid. That was it. So, I mean, we have seen nationally that there has been an influx since coming out of COVID, that the influx in noise complaints across the country. The Music Venue Trust has issued a statement on it as well. I mean, they're dealing legally with a lot of licensing issues that are coming through to them. So I think there is an aspect of, as everyone is going to be aware of, that there are more noise complaints at the moment than there has been previously whilst people readjust. The other thing I did need to say was, when we have the bigger events in the 2 rooms, what I will from now on always ensure is that room 2, which is the smaller room, will always be closed off by 1 AM. So when we're going to ask for any extension in the future, we're only going to be implementing it into room 1, which is the acoustically clad room with the in-house system as well.
Okay, just to clarify, but you're saying that that would be for future events, not for the upcoming events.
Oh no, it would be if this was overturned and we did have a license for this Saturday, the extension. I'm not even sure at this point that they would use it because they've programmed up until 1 AM. having the option to go further would be nice for them, but I would still close down room 2 at 1 a.m.
Right, okay, thank you for that. Okay, if there's any other points anyone would like to raise, any points of clarification from officers? No, in which case, what we will be doing next is going into a closed session. Members will discuss, obviously the merits of both sides of the argument, and then we will be coming back to you with a decision. So
Thank you.
hopefully we'll be speaking again soon. So
Thank you very much. Thank
see
you
you
for your
shortly.
time.
Thank you.
Sorry, we will put you in the waiting room and bring you back in, just like the chair explained, when the decision is ready to be read out.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Emma, can you
Okay.
stop the stream?